So good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me say that I'm delighted to be here with you today to discuss the future of a sustainable growth model of the European capital markets through innovative investments. So let me start by saying a few things about the concept of sustainable investments and ESG investments. Sustainable finance has already made a deep impact in the EU capital markets. The European market for ESG, environmental social governance investing, has grown rapidly over the past 3 years, reaching a record of 2.1 trillion of euros at the end of 2022. And this growth has inspired many fund managers to launch new ESG investment products or repurpose existing funds. So there's a number of legislations that have been initiated in the last few years related to the area of sustainable finance, such as SFDR, Sustainable Finance Disclosure Regulation, the Taxonomy Regulation, the Benchmark Regulation, the regulation for the green bonds. So there's a lot of effort both at the policy level but at the market level also to increase the investments in this particular area. Now, while it is critical to see investors supporting the transition to a greener economy, it's crucial that they can have confidence in the financial products that they are being offered to them, and that by investing, they will actually be supporting the green economy through accurate fund designations. And too many times, investment funds have been marketed as green or as ESG or sustainable, whilst in reality, they're nothing of the kind and do little to either advance sustainability goals or instill confidence among investors. And it's the role of the regulators, such as CySEC, such as ESMA, to identify these cases of greenwashing, where investors are having the impression that the product or service they are using prioritizes ecology and green initiatives, but in reality it's not. And as regulators, we must also be able to identify the future trends and to at least anticipate potential risks and unintended consequences associated with these funds. Now, let me turn to updates and initiatives related to capital markets and capital markets union. The capital markets have proven resilient to the recent political, geopolitical, and other economic shocks. However, risks remain very high. So it's crucial that we all work to increase the efficiency of our markets so that we can enhance transparency, liquidity, and promote a well-functioning environment for domestic and foreign investors. And by doing this, we will increase the investment flows and cross-border investment flows and help foster economic growth within the European Union. So the CMU, just to point out here that the CMU, the Capital Markets Union, is a big goal. It's an important goal for Europe as a whole and for regulators such as ESMA and us. So as a member of ESMA, CySEC plays a pivotal role in shaping the new regulatory environment for a sustainable growth in Cyprus and in Europe. And I'll turn to a few of the legislative updates, for example, updates regarding the crowdfunding regulation, regarding the LTIFs, the European Long-Term Investment Funds, updates regarding the IFMD and the UCITS reviews, and updates regarding the listing rules. So the crowdfunding, the European regulation for crowdfunding service providers provides the opportunity for investment managers to offer pan-European services from the Republic or any other EU jurisdiction. The policy statement for us and the relevant directive, we have already published them, allowing interested parties to submit their applications. Up to this moment, we have not seen a lot of interest related to setting up crowdfunding platforms, at least in Cyprus. Then LTIFs, the new regulation for European long-term investment funds, LTIFs, tries to overcome a number of supply and demand limitations. The scope of eligible assets and investment has now been clarified, as well as the portfolio composition and diversification requirements and conditions for borrowing and lending of cash. Other fund rules, including sustainability aspects, are also clearer. So just to say what are the LTIFs, LTIFs, it's kind of a subset of the alternative investment funds, and the idea is to invest in long-term projects, and a number of those projects are illiquid projects, and it's geared towards professional investors. Again, LTIF, although it's a nice concept, we have not seen much interest across the European Union. Now, regarding amendments to UCITS and the IFMD, the amendments to the directives related to the UCITS, the undertakings for collective investments in transferable securities, and the IFMD, the Alternative Investment Fund Managers Directive, are underway. The amendments will enhance the availability of liquidity management tools to fund managers. It will establish also an EU framework for funds that would provide credit to companies. The directive is under discussion between the co-legislators to finalize some technical issues in the texts. And turning finally to the listing rules, according to a recent report by ESMA covering prospectus activity between 2007 and 2021, number of approved prospectuses within the European Economic Area declined by 70%. So there has also been a surge in the number of companies choosing to delist from the public markets. This is the same case as the Cyprus Stock Exchange, and we have witnessed the decline and the increased number of entities that want to delist from public markets. Obviously, this is a concern for us and for other EU regulators. I can say that for Cyprus, very short, that we're the process is underway for the privatization of the stock exchange, which we believe that it's in the right direction, and it will be a way to enhance the operations of the Cyprus Stock Exchange. The reforms of the listing regimes are important because it has the capacity to increase the number of companies going public and simplify access to capital markets. Current negotiations at the European level should result in a more proportionate and cost-efficient regulatory regime for issuers, thereby facilitating access to the capital markets. These reforms, along with others that are on the way, should make it easier also for the retail investors to make a more sustainable investment, especially in SMEs, whilst ensuring strong investor protection. So concluding, I would like to reiterate CySEC's strong commitment to maintaining high standards of investor protection and investor confidence, which can lead to healthy development of the market and encourage development of innovative new products and services. Thank you for your attention.